welcome to my new video. So before we begin, I'd like to say that I know that Pentaflui made a similar video a week or 2 weeks ago. So don't be mad at me or I don't know, judge me, because I made a similar video as him, because he's more popular than me, or way more popular than me. So these are my reasons why you keep losing at Blitz. So let's say that you shouldn't do these things as that I will say in this video. So the first thing, you should control your tank and not let your tank to control you. Let me explain this. So you maybe heard it in live that everything you do, you should not actually let it control you, but you should control that. So the exact same things happens in Blitz. So you should actually just respect your tank. I know it's a funny way to say that, but don't expect from a heavy tank like E100 or Mouse that it will be fast or maneuverable as LTTB or Sheridan, So just don't expect that if you actually go across some field that is actually a quite open field, that you won't be shot at or destroyed immediately, because there could be a Jägeru or Death Star lurking in every corner of the map, so they will probably HE or hash you. They will try to get to your weak armor, so don't do those things. Don't just run the field, in a heavy tank. If you want to do that, choose a light tank and do that wisely. So the other thing is that you should actually respect the map. So you have in most cases you have two spots on the map, left one and right one, of course, but what is the difference? So I don't know, I won't say left or right, because it depends from where you spawn. So we'll call it a light side and heavy side. So you have heavy side, heavy tank side, and light tank side. So what do? I see a lot of people that actually run a heavy tank and then go to the light tank side, or run a light tank and go to the heavy tank side. So why is this wrong? So when you are driving a heavy tank, most of the heavy tank sides actually have some obstacles or buildings or things that you actually can hide behind that building. You can actually hide behind those things. So that is the main characteristic of the heavy tank side of the map. So this is for the new players that actually don't quite yet know the characteristics of every map, So you have the map that will you most likely play as a actually new player. That map is called Mines. So what should you do in a heavy tank in Mines? So when you get to a higher tiers, everyone from your team will say heal immediately, but which ones will say that? Which players will say that? So the players that will actually say that are the ones that will be driving medium and light tanks. Why? Because they actually need to do that. But they expect everyone to run the hill, You in Mines, you should do it like this. So I know in many cases, in Blitz especially, in every game, but in Blitz especially, you don't actually have any teamwork at all. So what should you do? You should actually, as a new player, play a lot of platoon games. a lot of platoon games, so you can actually rely on someone, you know. Try to actually, I don't know, I will leave my name in the description. I'm on the European server. I'm not the best player, but if you want to platoon with me, I'd love to, you know, to teach you a couple of things. So, I don't know how to hide, how to spot properly, how to bounce damage. You know, if you're a new player and all confused, I will be more than welcome to do that, you know. So, let's say it like this. If there is a team that you get in and they will listen, let's assume that they will listen, but they won't, but okay. Most of the blitz teams won't listen because they are too selfish to listen, you know. But let's assume that they will actually listen. So what do? Imagine this, you're driving a heavy tank. So what do you want to do on mines? So you want 1 to 2 heavy tanks, depending on how many heavy tanks you have in the team. So if you like have 3 or 4 heavy tanks, you'd like to have 2 heavy tanks on the hill and 2 heavy tanks or 1 heavy tank to the left side. I mean, the actual heavy tank side. Sorry for the left side. So you should go there with heavy tank and ensure to that enemy cannot go through, you know, because I've seen so many cases on the mines that actually I'm like in Tank Destroyer, especially in Death Star, I hate it on the mines because you from that side where you have like giant rock and you climb on that side. I hate that side on the Death Star, in the Death Star. Why? Because you are like 100 meters from that hill and every single light tank is rushing that hill from the enemy team. They spot you and boom, you're dead. So I hate that part of the map for my Death Star or any Tank Destroyer generally, you know. So you must assure that actually heavy tanks don't breach from the behind, you know, because if they breach from the behind, you lost the battle. You immediately know that you lost the battle. So what do you want to do? You want to have 1 to 2 heavy tanks to your left and 1 to your right. So you know, in that kind of map, like mines, what will you do? So the map that is actually, let's say it like this. So the mines is actually the perfect example. So you have like the base in the corner of the map. So let's look it like that. So the team that actually has the base on their left corner, they should play defensively all day long on that map. And the team that has actually a map on their right side, base on their right side, they should actually, you know, try to break their defense. So let's say it like this, the defense team has better chances if they like all rush that side, the left side, you know, your right side. If they rush that side, you will most likely win. But if they try to circle you, you are more likely to lose. Why? Because you will be fighting on 2 different parts of the map, so that's not good. So either heavy tanks didn't do their job, or tank destroyers didn't do their job. So medium and light tanks don't have actually any part that is actually really important in that battle, because it's a very, very small map, so every tank that is close will actually spot someone, you know. In mines you get up close and personal, so that's it. up close and personal. You have to remember that. You have to actually, in mines, you might actually, you have the best chances to learn how to bounce if you run a heavy tank. So that is my number 2 reason. My reason number 3 is that you actually, it kinda goes with number 2. So why is it bad that you actually go like with heavy tank? Why is it bad to go to the light tank side? Because most of the players that are actually quite a long time in the game, they will actually go to that side with lights. They will go to the light side. You know, they won't just rush heavy tank side because they know they're there. So let's simplify it. On the heavy tank side, you can actually recognize it by having more obstacles, more houses, more buildings, more like it's more like a city for the heavy tanks. So these actually environments are best for the Russian heavy tanks because they don't have to use their gun depression, you know, and they just suck with gun depression. Also, those are actually pretty good for German tanks because you can actually you can make a pretty good angle, you know, if you know how to angle. Then, but it's definitely best for Russian heavy tanks because their penetration doesn't suffer, and it also sucks on the distance. So their gun doesn't suffer, you know, because they're actually not aiming time, but Jesus Christ, how is it called? Gun dispersion. Sorry. So their gun dispersion doesn't suffer because they have pretty much, how to define Russian tanks. They suck in every single aspect, just not in RNG and not in their armor, you know. Those are two things that they're especially good at: bouncing damage and having RNGs on their side all day long. So this is where you should go with the heavy tanks. So like in the city or the the places that you actually have more obstacles, you know, to cover your lower plate and such things. So, and you will recognize the light tank side as being more, let's say it like this, upsized, you know, just having more hills or having more, I don't know, bushes. I don't mean like bushes for tank destroyers, but bushes for light tanks. So what do you do? Why do you go actually in light tank, you might ask? Because I said in every video that you actually shouldn't do that, but in certain scenarios you should. So if you are close enough that you actually can spot, you should go in a bush. So, you know, not like 500 meters, you know, just to camp in a light tank, but in a way that you actually can spot and not to get spotted, you know. So you will benefit greatly from it. Why? Because of the credits. From the experience you will get everything, you know, if you just like spot 2, 3 or 4 tanks or even more. See for yourself, you know, just see for yourself, you won't be disappointed. So to continue, light tank side actually has more hills, as I said, more bushes. You know, heavy tanks don't need hills, they don't need bushes, they need flat environment, they need to actually hide behind something solid, you know, because they are not fast enough to evade shots. So when you are playing with light tank, just go to the light tank side, and when you're playing with heavy tank, go to the heavy tank side. Even if you're like teammate from the, I don't know, from the light tank side, sorry. So if he's driving a light tank or medium tank and he says, hey douchebag, come with us because you will die there. I don't know, go with your team, but to me it is better to split up, because I don't know, if you have heavies on that side, on the heavy tank side, and lights on the light tank side, so you should actually win pretty much every time, because it is like the best to have 2 heavy tanks or even 3, and most of the other things that like to be medium tanks or light tanks. Why? Because actually when you have like 2 heavy tanks, most of the enemy team will come to you, because they actually have to get rid of you to actually break the heavy armor and clear the path for their heavies and their tank destroyers, so they actually can destroy our lights. So you should actually hold the line. That's all you're actually good for, holding the line. So you should get this in your head. I'm holding the line, and the light tanks are actually dealing damage. I'm not here to actually deal damage, but I'm here to block damage. And if you do your part, if you hold long enough, your light tanks will actually circle them, go behind them, and then you should actually start to deal real damage, not hide anymore. You should actually not be worried for your hit points anymore, because you did your job, and even if you die, you will probably win. So this is another reason why you should actually respect the tank sides, light and heavy tank side. So what happens if you go in a heavy tank to a light tank side? So this happens. You roll out from your spawn, and let's say it like this. If you don't have support, so let's take an example like Dead Rail. I think it's a perfect example. So you have heal on one side and like Wally on the other side, So Wally is for heavy tanks because you have more obstacles. Your tank destroyers can support you, and there on the right side you actually have some bushes, some hills, perfect for light tanks, so just to pick out and deal damage. So what happens if you go to the hill side, actually light tank side, with your heavy tank? So this happens. So you actually, like I said, roll out from your spawn point and boom, you get hit. Then your light bulbs lights up and you actually find out maybe some bounces happen, but mostly the damage because you can't see them. So let me explain it to you. While you were rolling out, their light tanks did the good job and went to the light tank side. So because you were slow, you didn't get to the bush just in time or behind cover, and they actually spotted you. So the only thing you can do right now is to find the closest rock, not bush, but rock, to hide your lower plate and try to hold the line while your light tanks and heavy tanks, other heavy tanks, do their job. So just hold them off. That's the best thing you can do. But in most cases you will lose. You will just lose because your teammate who is driving light tank, because of you, you didn't play support on the heavy tank side, and someone had to replace you. So you actually swapped places, and he had to actually go with your heavy tanks, the rest of the heavy tanks, just to equalize the amount of damage that is received and dealt. So this same thing happens when light tank starts to camp. Then your tank destroyer has to go out, and because of it, probably if it's big on the tier 10s, they're almost every time big, but that's not important because they have actually low visibility, high camera rating but low visibility. So what does that mean? Also in this scenario, like in heavy tank scenario, you will get outspotted, and you know your light tank is behind you. He's not doing anything. In best case scenario, his visibility is just as yours, you know, because he's behind you. And in the worst case scenario, you will actually be the one who spots. So you will just get wrecked there, you know. And those are my reasons why you might keep losing. You know, you're not respecting your tank, you're not respecting map, and just to get back to respecting your tank. So you've may heard people saying like, do not let that thing, anything, control you. You should control that. You know, it's just like that in Blitz. So you should know your tank's capabilities. So as I said, if it's not a light tank, don't go to the light tank side. You will just get out, get burned, and you will die, not deal damage, not bounce damage, and you will eventually lose because of your stupid mistake, you know. So guys, that was all for today. Thanks for watching. You know what to do. Subscribe, share, and like if you liked. And goodbye till the next time. See you in a couple of days. Have a good night.